Hello, my name's Adam. I'm a strategic coach for journalists and nonprofits. Every quarter, I sit down, I take a look at progress in my business and stack it up against my annual goals. I use 3 frameworks to do this. The first is Cascading Strategy, the second is Swimlanes, the third is a daily manifest. This video, I'm going to show you how you can use those strategies to keep track of your business, talk a little bit about what's coming up for me in 2024. I'm going to try really hard not to get lost. Before I get into my planning for the year, for the rest of 2024, I'm going to walk you through these 3 strategies I talked about. The first is Cascading Strategy. This involves breaking down an overarching business strategy into constituent parts. And the way I like to do it is to start off with the vision, move down into focus areas, then strategic objectives, and then very specific goals. The whole idea is that it gets aligned from top to bottom. My vision is to turn my one-person consultancy gig into an entrepreneurial purpose and profit agency that enables me to provide for my family, scale the amount of people that I can help, focus on the work that I love, grow my passive income, and maintain a beautiful work, life, creativity balance. And it doesn't matter whether you start with the grassroots stuff, the real tasks that you know that you need to do, and then reverse engineer your strategy out of that, or start with an overarching big vision or bold new goal, and then you can drill down into actionable stuff. One of the big problems I see for organizations is strategy is totally divorced from the action, from the doing of the day-to-day work. This ensures that, as long as you check in on it regularly, doesn't happen. The second framework I use is Swimlaning. This is a visual project management strategy, basically, and it just breaks down the areas of your business into different focus areas. And then I use a Kanban board to basically separate that out, and I can map really easily all the tasks I need to do, move them around when they're complete or done or postponed, and get a really good overview of all the different constituent parts of the business. And this works great if you're one person and you just need to compartmentalize your work, or if you're in a huge team and you've got different owners for each area of the business. The third framework that I use is the daily manifest. And this is from the great folks at Visualizing Value. It is a sort of best of all the tracking and journaling apps that you can find. It just presents all of the core information about what your focus areas are and what you need to be doing in one place. I look at this every day. It just keeps me on track. It helps me relate directly to those strategic focus areas and then also the bigger goals of the business. So those are the 3 frameworks that I use. But let's take it out of the abstract, and now I can walk you through my swim lanes, my Kanban board, where I've outlined all the strategic focus areas for the year. And then I'll give you my 5 main takeaways that I've learned from doing this that I think you can apply to your business too. So a very quick overview to the Kanban board. On the left-hand side, you'll see here, I've got different strategic focus areas for my business. I've got a column for goals and KPIs, specific things that I want to target or work towards. And then I have July, Q3, and then things for later, which is just things that I'm going to do in the future or maybe not do at all. So my overall goals for the business are to bet on more winners. I've launched a bunch of projects. I have new ideas and lots of information about whether they're working or not. And now I need to basically bet on the winners and invest on the ones that are working and maybe drop off the ones that are not working so well. The other areas of strategic focus then are coaching, which I really want to prioritize this year, and I want to improve my skills right through the year, all the way to the end of the year, and get a couple of new clients. I've got a focus on my courses. So I'm going to turn my current free course, I'm going to really improve it, extend it, add videos, and turn that into a paid course. And then the database, which was a paid product but has not really found a market yet, I'm going to turn that into a lead magnet and actually make it free, give it away in exchange for an email, and then hopefully upsell to the course. That's all based on the feedback I've been getting from people. I've had a lot of signups for the course and no takers for the database. So let's see if we can flip that and charge for where the value actually is. On the YouTube side of things, I have been doing this now for 9 videos, and it's now time, I think, to kind of niche down a little bit. So I am going to focus more on content to help you organize, grow, scale, innovate inside your non-profit or journalism organization. That's a world I obviously know really well. It's something I do with my coaching all the time. I'm going to connect this channel a little more directly to the work I'm doing. Mostly, I just want to continue putting a video out every week, trying to get better at making the videos themselves, and also reducing a bit my own stress by creating better systems to do that. On the website, I don't really need to do too much, I have to say, but I do need to restructure a little bit. I want to reformulate the promise. Obviously, I need to change those coaching database and course propositions a little bit. So we're going to do that, but there's nothing too much to do there. And then I have a couple of kind of secret projects that I'm thinking about working on. One is called The Avengers. The other one is a cohort-based course or a masterclass. These don't really have any concrete actions for me in the next quarter, I think, but I like to keep these ideas bubbling away. I like to have something that's interesting and exciting and new that might take off. So there you go. That's the overview of what I'm working on in my business, the 3 frameworks that I'm using to make sure that strategy, those focus objectives get done. A few takeaways, I guess, just for maybe you and your business. I guess what I've learned in the last quarter is, 1, don't neglect your core offering. You should really go with the energy, and coaching is where it's at for me at the minute. So that's what I'm doing. I think the second thing is that I learned from the course is launch imperfectly. I put out a course, I put it out for free. We've got 100 signups. I've learned loads, and now I think I can turn that into an actual product, which is great. I can use the feedback to iterate over time. The third thing is with the database, I sort of misread the value proposition of that. People told me it was valuable. People showed a lot of interest when I showed them, but it just didn't align. I valued that a lot more than I think people did. And even though they said they wanted it, they weren't really prepared to pay for it. They didn't really understand the value. It's possible I didn't talk to people enough about it, but I did get quite a lot of product feedback in the early days in a beta. Got a bunch of beta testers on. Hey, these things happen, and now I can iterate, and I think I've got a good plan. I learned some valuable lessons from YouTube, of course, which is basically about simplifying workflows and creating systems. It's a great way of reducing stress, cognitive load, overhead. I started to do this thing. I'm enjoying doing it. Now I've got to systematize it and make sure that it works for me. The final 2 swim lanes, the Avengers and the cohort-based courses, I think it's really important to maintain one kind of crazy idea, I guess, for a bit, just something that's totally out there, that's totally different, and keep that on the back burner. Keep working on something that is innovative and interesting and might become something. So that's it for this week. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to know more about the frameworks I use, I've put links below. If you want to work with me, you can check out my website also. The music in this episode is from me too, so if you like that, head over to Spotify, take a listen. That's it for this week. Thanks for watching. I'm literally not actually sure where I am.